All right. So you're stuck in this job, this class, on this team, in this situation you don't want to be in, and you've prayed the prayer that we talked about in my last video. I'll post a link in the comments below. The prayer that says, Lord, it doesn't look like this situation is going to change. So would you use this situation to change me? You've prayed it, you've meant it. So what do you do next? What you do next is that you need to put some action to that prayer. That's what we're going to talk about today on Puddle Road. All right, so we're going to jump back into Jeremiah 29 for just a minute. And then I'm going to give you some more of the story about my life that I was sharing in the last video that hopefully you can apply in your situation, that will give you some hope and some encouragement and maybe some motivation in how to move forward in that place that you're stuck in. So, Jeremiah 29. Some of the Israelites have been taken into exile in Babylon. All they want to do is come home. There are false prophets there telling them not to get comfortable, just hang on. In a very short time, God's going to deliver you and take you all back home. But that is not what is going to happen. And so Jeremiah, a real prophet of God, writes them a letter and he sends it to them. And he tells them that you aren't going to be coming home in 2 years. You're going to be there for 70 years. For most of them, that was their entire lives. And in light of that, here's what he tells them to do, not to just lay down and hope for something that's not going to happen, right? Not to just sit in a puddle of pity and feel sorry for yourself. Here's what he says to do. He says, since you're going to be there for the next 70 years, here's the first thing you need to do. You need to build houses, settle down, plant gardens, and eat what they produce. He's telling them, look, I know you don't want to be there, but you're there. And if you're there, instead of wasting your life away, wishing for something else, wishing that it was different, sulking and pouting and whining because it's not the way you want it to be, get up off your butt and get to work. Build a life for yourself and your family. You have a responsibility to take care of your family while you are there. You have an obligation to become and be all that God has designed you to be, no matter where you are. Get up and get to work. Plant gardens, build houses, and build a life for yourself, even if you're in a place you'd rather not be. You can either sit there in Babylon and waste away wishing for something you're not going to have, or you can take what you have and you can build a life from it. Those are your choices. And he was encouraging them, God was encouraging them through Jeremiah to pick the better option, to build a life even in a hard place. So that's finally what occurred to me after I prayed that prayer on the way to work that day. God, I know that it looks like this job isn't going to change. So if the job isn't going to change, would you please change me? But after praying that, I didn't have the option to just sit there and wait for something to happen. I had to put some action to my prayer. And so here I am. I have this dream of full-time ministry. It's all I've ever wanted to do. It's not becoming a reality. I'm a full-time X-ray tech doing part-time ministry. It's burning me up. It's eating me alive. I hate my X-ray job, not because it's a terrible job, but because it's not the job for me. It's not the place I want to be. I want to be in ministry. I don't have a logical, technical brain. I don't enjoy all the technical parts of taking x rays. It's frustrating to me. I want to be over here and I can't get out of here. Right? That's where I was. But after praying that prayer, what do? You have to put some action to your prayer. You've got to put some action into your faith. And so I did the best that I could in the place that I was. I accepted the fact that I'm going to be here for a while. I don't know how long, but I'm going to be here. And if I'm going to be here, I might as well build a life here. And so here's the two things I did. I leaned in to the things I was good at. I wasn't good at the technical part of taking x-rays, but I was really good at patient interaction. I mean, I'm a pastor, right? That's that's what was built in. I was really good at patient interaction. I was really good at being a go-between between doctors and patients. I was really good at calming children and babies who were upset. They called me the baby whisperer. When there was a child who was just losing their mind, people would just come get Adam. Say, Adam, room 3, we need you. There's a baby in here. When there was an angry patient or a mentally ill patient, who would they come get? They'd come get Adam because I could diffuse the situation. And so I was good at serving the doctors and going above and beyond to make their job as easy as possible. Those were the things that I was good at. And I leaned into those things hard. And in leaning into those things hard, people took notice. Managers took notice. I built a reputation of being a really good employee, an honest employee, an employee with integrity in a place that I didn't want to be, but I was building a life there. The other thing that I did was that I made myself get better at the things I stunk at. And over time, I became, through a lot of hard work, very good at my job. Very good at my job. To the point that I was trusted for promotion in a place I didn't want to be. It would have been so easy just to feel sorry for myself, to drag my butt in there every day and to give the minimal, to complain, to woe is me, and all that stuff. And there was a period of time when I did some of that. But man, once it clicked, God, this job isn't going to change. So use it to change me. Use it to build me into a better person. That's when things really began to shift for the better. And so what happened is that I became a really highly valued employee. I had a really good rapport with my supervisors. And you know what? I started to see that this job isn't so awful after all. It's not my first choice. It's not what I dreamed of doing, but it's not that terrible of a job. And I started seeing the good. I mean, I was meeting some really great people. I was building some really good friendships, people who may just still be watching now, from years ago. I was a part of a team that was helping thousands of people, saving some of their lives. I was part of the mechanism that was literally saving people's lives, putting their bodies back together. I got to be a part of that. I got to be a part of helping to train residents, future doctors in the area where I worked. There was some good things that were happening in that job, but I had to change my perspective to see it. And there came a point where I would come home, instead of coming home uh, soul exhausted. You ever been there where your just soul is exhausted? You're so disgusted by your job that you just come home and you're a zombie, right? You're not just tired in body, but your soul is just tired. I went from that to actually coming home good tired. Like I've had a crazy day, but man, we accomplished a lot of stuff in my department today. That's a huge thing for anybody to be able to be proud of your work, but it's a change in perspective. Listen, there's no such thing as a bad job. All right. Every job you do is providing a good or a service for somebody that they need. All right. There is no such thing as a bad job. It just may not be the job for you or the one that suits your personality, but you can make good come out of it. And so I had built such a reputation among my supervisors that when the day finally came for me to step into a full time pastor position, they had no problem allowing me to go part time and to stay on at the hospital. It was amazing. They were eager to see me pursue my dream, even if it meant that they were going to have to now do some more hiring and whatnot to fill my spot. Plant gardens, build homes, and make a life for yourself. That's what I want to say to you. Maybe you are super frustrated. You're in a place you don't want to be. You're working in a job that is below your capabilities, it's below your degree. You're in a class where the teacher doesn't care and your classmates don't care. You're on a football team where you lose every game. The coach has lost all sense of purpose and pride. Nobody trains in the off season. Nobody works hard. Nobody cares. You're stuck in a place that you don't want to be in. But I'm telling you what Jeremiah told the Israelites in Babylon: get up off your butt, quit feeling sorry for yourself, dig down deep, and start getting your hands dirty. Start planting gardens and building homes and build a life for yourself where you are. Become the best employee that you can be. If you have to be in that job, then doggone it, rise as high in that job as you can. Make as much money for your family as you can. Build the best reputation that you can. Build a life where you are. Don't waste 45 minutes a day, 180 days out of your year in that math class where nobody else cares. Don't have spent all that time in there and to walk out at the end of the year with nothing extra put up here. Sure, it might take some extra work at home. You might have to get a tutor. You might have to YouTube how to do some of those equations, but build a life while you are there. You're stuck there. You can sit on your butt in that chair staring at the ceiling, or you can sit on your butt in that chair engaged with your teacher and drinking in as much as you can. Maybe you are on the worst football team in the conference. You're a linebacker on the worst football team in the entire conference. But doggone it, you can be determined to be the best linebacker in the conference on the worst team in the conference. If you're willing to build a life, to train in the off season, to hit it hard in the gym, to watch film, to do what your coach says, to do beyond what your coach says, to seek out other mentors and leaders, you can build a life for yourself even in a difficult situation. And the payoff for that is that you're not just becoming a better football player or student or employee, you are becoming a more disciplined, stronger, more capable person. And that is going to carry on with you once you leave that job or that class or that team. You can be stuck in a place that you don't want to be, but don't ever stay stuck the person you don't want to be. Take the word of the Lord from Jeremiah if you're in a hard place. Accept where you are, ask God to change you through it, and then begin the work. Start planting gardens, build a home, and start building a life for you. Thank you so much for being here with me on Puddle Road. I really, really, really appreciate your time. If this content is beneficial to you, if you get value from it, would you spread it around a little bit? Share it, subscribe if you're not, like, throw me a comment in the comment section below. It really does help. All of those things help to get these videos out to more people. Again, I thank you. I appreciate you being here. And we're going to take this topic just a little further in the next video or two. I don't care where you're stuck. All right. God can and will use this for your good. And you can build a life for you and for your family. I'll see you next time on Puddle Road.